G'day, welcome. Thank you so much to my subscribers. To my new subscribers, welcome. And the channel is still rapidly growing. So today I've got a very exciting video. If you like this video, please consider liking to show your appreciation as well. Thanks so much. So it's the old school Gillette Tech versus the new school King C Gillette. So we're going to do a showdown between these two razors, and I'm going to tell you my opinion, what I think is best for what, which one I prefer. Now this razor is a new old stock. It was made in the 1960s now from England. It has an aluminium handle, and I wrote down how much it weighs. It weighs 37.25 grams or 1.31 ounces. On the other end of the spectrum, the new King C Gillette, it weighs 103.68 grams or 3.65 ounces. So this is almost 3 times heavier than the Gillette Tech. So the King C Gillette has a lot more weight. This has a pressed steel head with the aluminium handle, and this is a metal alloy. So they're very different razors. But I said on my last video when I did the traveling review, the traveling kit, that this is the best value for money razor that you can find, because usually they go for around $10 to $20 on Fleabay, or you can find them in thrift shops. It is the most popular, beloved razor ever manufactured in the history of mankind. More of these razors were made than any other razor on the market in history. And this is the new contender, which was released by Gillette recently. It's their first safety razor in a supermarket that I've ever seen in my entire life. Very different razors. So let's give this a bit of a review today and a showdown. I'm going to use the Gillette Platinum blade. I'm going to use a fresh blade. And for this, I'm going to be marking. I'll just open him up, take a Sharpie marker, and I'm going to be marking the side that I'm going to be using the Gillette Tech. And that way I'll use this side for the Gillette Tech, and I'll use the other side for the King C Gillette. Okay, so that way we have a little bit more of a scientific test between that. I like to be really honest and upfront. A nice new Gillette Platinum blade. We've marked the top orientation. Now, I'm just going to take off the cap, and I want to explain some of the differences between the cap. So this is like, it has little edging on it. This edging is just small. It looks like a coin. The knurling on a coin, and it has the 4 prongs on the corner, and it has the 2 male studs, and this allows the blade to sit securely in the razor. I'm just going to pop in so we can see where I've marked. That's going to be the side that I shave with on this Gillette Tech. Now, the cream that I'm going to be using today is the Gillette Pure, and I'm just going to be using the Yaki 24mm synthetic mocha brush today. I want to have a good shave today. So I'm just going to prepare the lather, and we'll come back. Okay, so I just prepared the lather. It took me like less than a minute. And so it's an all Gillette battle. The Gillette Tech versus the King C Gillette using the Gillette Pure. And let's see which is better and what are the differences. So I'm going to lather first the right side of my face. And I'm going to change it up a bit. I'm going to shave with the King C Gillette first. Fantastic. I'll just pull the blade out. And the reason why I want to do King C Gillette is because that's what's available at the moment for most guys. Take out the blade. Now, with the King C Gillette, it has round pins here, and it has the post on the top cap, but it doesn't have the four male prongs on each corner. So when we pop the blade in, although it does fit securely, we're going to see, you can see that there's that little bit of blade play because of the way it sits. And I'll try to capture that blade play carefully on camera. So you can see that, especially as it crimps the blade, there can be a little bit of blade play. So we just put the base plate on, screw it in, and it'll crimp the blade. Now, the shaving angle on this is different, and you'll see in the angle of the handle how it generates that cutting angle of 30 degrees a little bit differently to the Gillette Tech, which is interesting because I've shaved with the Gillette Tech on a number of occasions. It is a wonderful razor, the Gillette Tech, and yeah, I think it's the best. You know, if you can find one for $10–20 and you've got to have it. So the black orientation is for the Tech and the plain is for the King C Gillette. Let's give it a go. This is just under 48 hours of growth. And we can see that it's certainly cutting the stubble. And it's very, very easy to use. It's a mild razor, so that's straight away what I'm feeling with it. It's a nice mild razor, and it cuts very, very smoothly. There's no problem with it, and it's gentle. It's a nice, gentle, smooth shave. I'm just putting in the blade for the Gillette Tech now. It's very, very light. Straight away, as soon as I pick him up, having just used the King C Gillette, I'm feeling the lightness. And let's have a look, one pass with the King C Gillette versus the unshaven side that I'm going to use the Gillette Tech on. Let's lather up. And my stubble today, I had to use lots of hot water because it's fairly cold today. So interesting. So let me know in the comments if you've used either of these two razors or used them both. And tell me whether you agree with me. Tell me what you think. This is nice and slick, this soap, and it has some residual slickness, which is really good. This Gillette Pure, I think it's much better than anything in a can full of propane that they produce. Okay, orientation, the black side with the Gillette Tech. Okay, instantly, major difference. And you can see I'm using longer strokes, and it's just in no time at all. This is just pulled off a massive amount of hair. Try to capture that on camera. It just, so definitely this is more efficient so far. And if you notice the angle at which I'm shaving at, I have to elevate the handle substantially further. I think it because the blade sits a bit flatter than the King C Gillette. Also, you do have to control the pressure by using a bit more of a firm hold. So, because of the weight of the King C Gillette, the weight does a lot of the work for you. With the Gillette Tech, it is more efficient, but you do have to maintain a certain degree of sustained control against the skin. So I would say it is pressure, but it's more of a firmness. It's hard to describe. Okay, first pass done. Yeah, I feel that the Gillette Tech is more efficient, but you do have to maintain that constant control with a touch more pressure than the King C Gillette. I think the weight has a big factor to that. We'll do this side for the second pass. Yeah, I like both razors, and it's an interesting battle, this one. A lot of people are against the King C Gillette simply because it's made in China, and the new corporate campaign of Gillette, especially with the toxic masculinity, which I have to keep on reminding guys about, it's affected a lot of men quite negatively. So yeah, this Gillette Tech certainly feels more efficient. And you got to remember that also the Gillette Tech, I mean, it was, you can just see the hair is just being knocked off quite easily with the Gillette Tech. The Gillette Tech was made for full and advocated for full face shaving. So men all around the world, that's what they use. And they were very inexpensive to produce, and they produced millions upon millions of them because Gillette's main model of business was to sell the blades. So King C Gillette was the father, like I said in the other videos, of disposability and planned obsolescence. And his motto, which is to, give them the razors and sell them the blades. That was King C Gillette's motto. And yeah, it's why Gillette is so famous today. And they were so successful. Now that modern razor blade design was designed by Henry Eisman, sometimes pronounced Geisman, and he bought out Proback, which was an auto strop company, to give us that universal blade that we still use today in safety razors. Okay, let's go with the King C Gillette. Okay, second pass done. Interesting. All right, let's go third pass now. This is really, really interesting. I have mixed thoughts now. Very mixed. Okay. Shut all of that noise. That's wonderful. That's a wonderful shave with the King C Gillette. Yeah, there's no doubt that the King C Gillette can deliver a great performance and still be very mild on 3 passes. Yeah. It's interesting because I was expecting something different. Let's quickly do the left side of the face with the Gillette Tech. I'm just trying to make the videos, you know, under 20 minutes if possible, just because they make it more watchable. Okay. This cream, the Gillette Pure, very, very nice. Very, very nice. Okay, Gillette Tech now. Make sure I get the right orientation. Yeah. There's definitely a difference. So I can tell you that the Gillette Tech is a more efficient razor. Okay. That's a wonderful shave, gents. Okay, let's rinse. Hot water, then cold water. Pat dry. Fantastic shave today. Wow. I really wanted to dial it in and see how we went with today's shave. So, what are my thoughts now? I think if all you have access to is the supermarket, then definitely the King C Gillette is probably one of the best beginner razors you could ever possibly use. However, if you can find it cheaply, then the Gillette Tech is wonderful to have. I think this razor, the King C Gillette, is more forgiving. So it's you have to work for the shave. It will require, especially on the first pass, more stroking than the Gillette Tech. So the Gillette Tech is probably for it's a level up. So this would be, say, efficiency, say 4.5, and this would be 5.5. So definitely more efficient on the Gillette Tech. Both are wonderful razors. If you don't like the made in China and the toxic masculinity, then, you know, have a look for this razor. If you want something a bit more forgiving, then the King C Gillette is more forgiving. Which do I prefer to shave with? I like the weight of the King C Gillette. I like the efficiency of the Gillette Tech. So that's my verdict today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm just going to finish with a little bit of Nivea, the inexpensive balm, and these are both. This shave is budget, so it's very inexpensive, and you can get a lifetime of shaving with this. This is from the 1960s, so this razor is potentially 70 years old, and look at the condition. They were built to last, and there's very little that can go wrong with these heads. They're bulletproof. A lot of guys, what they'll do, and I should mention this, and I'm sorry I didn't. You know, for someone like me that likes a little bit more weight in the razor, what I'll do is, and what you can do, is just take the heavier modern handle, screw them on, and create a Franken razor. So there you have the King C Gillette handle with the Gillette Tech. So if you own both of these, this also would be probably something that, if you want the efficiency and the weight, create your own Franken razor. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and leave your thoughts in the comments and I'll read them. And thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next one.